emotions, and experiences onto a group or an individual. There are two main forms of dehumanization. The first is mechanistic, which represents the view of others as objects, emotionless, or automaton-like. The second is animalistic, which is attributing animal-like traits onto that individual or group. And this is the form that I'll be focusing on today. So some factors that can contribute to animalistic dehumanization is lack of contact, low levels of empathy, and negative stereotypes and distorted beliefs. What I'll be looking into is the distorted belief that perceiving groups as beneath your own through forms of entitlement. So entitlement refers to a sense of deservedness, self-importance, and expectations to receive special goods or treatment, and it's been studied interdisciplinarily. What I'll be looking into in particular is narcissistic entitlement, which has especially been studied in clinical and personality psychological literatures, but has been applied throughout other disciplines as well. Some things that correlate with narcissistic entitlement is heightened senses of aggression, antisocial traits, and low levels of forgiveness. So, entitlement, to my knowledge, has not been examined directly in dehumanization literature. However, if a person believes that other groups deserve to be at the bottom and do not deserve the same level of treatment as you do, then we can assume entitlement is an essential part in dehumanization and the mistreatment of other groups. So we decided to look in entitlement's relation with dehumanization across two studies. The first study, we hope to answer the question, does entitlement among whites predict dehumanization of marginalized groups? For study two, we hope to take a step further in asking the question, does dehumanization predict endorsement of white nationalist ideologies and support for extremist policies? And is this relationship in part driven by racial entitlement? So for study one, to reiterate, we will be examining the relationship between dehumanization and narcissistic entitlement. We were able to recruit a total of 246 self-identified white Americans through Mechanical Turk. And the measures used was the entitlement subscale from the Narcissistic Personality Inventory, specifically 2 items. I will never be satisfied until I get all that I deserve, and I insist upon getting the respect that is due to me. To measure dehumanization, we use an adapted version from Katiley and colleagues of the Sentiman scale. And to go further into this measure, we had participants were given different groups to rate, and they were asked, how evolved do you consider the average member of each